Hello and welcome to yet another episode of the Global Mentorship Programme presented by the London School of Leadership, Investment and Technology. I'm your host, Nafis Alam. Today we have our co-CEO, Abrunnaher Shifa. We welcome her to this show.
Thank you so much, Nafis, for having me, and I'm very much delighted to join into this session.
We are delighted as well to have you in this show. So the main agenda of this session is the latest update on the UK graduate visa, or alternatively, we can also call it the UK post-study work permit update. Before we dive deeper into our topic, let's just ask Ms. Abrunnaher about the graduate route visa. What is actually the graduate route visa and why it was introduced by the UK government in the first place?
Thank you so much, Nafis, for this question. I think it is already most of the students are familiar by this question or graduate route visa, but let me just go through it first. So the graduate route visa is basically a scheme from UK government to attract international students in the UK universities. So this is basically when you have a degree from UK universities, so may it be an undergrad degree, a master's degree, or a PhD degree, you will be granted a certain period of work permit visa, which is called the graduate route visa. So in the case of undergrad students or master students, it's 2 years, and for a PhD graduate, then the graduate route visa will be allowed for 3 years. Graduate route visa is basically introduced back in July 2021. Before that, the graduate route visa was banished back from 2012. Main reason behind it is the UK government wants to attract more high value students who will be able to contribute to the economy. So this is a very good opportunity for the students to test the job market, to look for jobs, and eventually secure a sponsorship from the companies they work for.
As we all know that the UK government is trying to tackle the UK immigration laws, and unfortunately the graduate route has also fallen to this ecosystem. So to tackle this problem, the Home Secretary, James Cleverly, who has written the letter to the Migration Advisory Committee to review this situation. Why do you think the UK government want to review the graduate visa route? What was the main idea for their investigation?
Like we mentioned before, Nafis, you have mentioned that the Home Secretary back in March, he wanted to review the graduate route visa, and he wanted a response from the Professor Brian Bell by the end of May to review if this graduate route visa is working or not. So the Migration Advisory Committee has come up with 3 recommendations in their letter, and they have finished reviewing the graduate route visa, and I'm very pleased to say their recommendation is to keep the graduate route visa. So there are 3 main points that they wanted to highlight in their response to the Home Secretary. First recommendation of in their letter is to keep the graduate route visa to make the students attracted to the UK higher education. So as I mentioned several times before, that this is a very attractive opportunity for the students to come to the UK. So Professor Brian Bell also absolutely agreed to that. He has recommended there has been no evidence of abusing the system, or these people who are coming to the graduate route visa, they are very skilled and they are working in good jobs rather than sitting and not contributing to the economy. Also, James Cleverly, in his letter, the Home Secretary, he wanted to know that if the graduate route visa people, they are converting to care working visa. visa. So this is not what the government intended in the first place, obviously. So that was another concern for the Home Secretary. So in his letter, Professor Brian Bell has said only 20% of the people are doing so, which is not a significant number of people who are doing converting to care worker visa. So this has been dismissed by the data and by the committee. So the second recommendation from the Migration Advisory Committee is asking government to launch a mandatory registration system for the recruitment agents and the sub-agents for monitoring purposes, and the universities are obliged to disclose how much they are spending on the agents, because the main concern behind it is the agents might be mis-selling UK higher education. So it has to be the agents and the sub-agents has to be monitored in order to bring high quality students in the UK. The number 3 recommendation for the government is the widespread monitoring of the data for immigrants in any visa category before making any major changes to the immigration rules. The 3 things that the Migration Advisory Committee has recommended to the government, the Home Secretary, in response to the letter that he sent to the committee.
Right. We can see rigorous changes in the immigration laws by the UK government in this year. Before the current change, let's delve into the other significant changes that took place over this year.
Sure, of course. Thank you so much. So, from January this year, the people who are coming to the UK on Toastmasters or undergraduate course, they are no longer be able to bring their spouses with them. So this is a huge significant shift from what the past students have been able to enjoy. Before January 2024, the students who come for undergrad degree or master's degree, they were able to bring their families with them, they were able to bring dependents with them. But from this year, January this year, this has no longer been the case. So if you are a undergrad student or a Toastmaster student, you will no longer be able to bring your family or any of your dependents with you. Courses that are still allowed to bring their families and dependents with them are research masters students and PhD students.
So this is like a huge shift for attracting new students to the UK, and probably the students are adapting to the recent changes. You see, the UK government is trying to make some alteration to the immigration rules and policies. Do you think this is working in the favor of international students, or it is putting them into the hot waters?
Obviously, when the government is trying to tackle the immigration problem, they have to do a bit more balancing act. Although it has been challenging for the international students to come here with their families because they no longer will be able to do so. But again, if you see the opportunities that you will get here coming to the UK after studying, the graduate route visa is still there. So it will still give you that opportunity to look for a job and basically landed into a really good job and eventually get a sponsorship from the company. So this is, I think, although it hasn't been as advantageous for the students as before, but it is still a very lucrative opportunities for the students. And once they secure a sponsorship visa, they will still be able to bring their families with them afterwards. So I think this is fair in terms of looking into the government. But again, for the students as well, if you are high quality student, if you are able to secure a very good sponsorship job, then of course this is UK is a very good opportunity for you to stay here.
Thank you so much, Miss Abrunnaher, for sharing your insightful opinion with our students. I'm sure they have enjoyed every bit of your opinion.
Thank you so much, Nafis, for having me here. I hope it has been helpful for the students to go through the things that we have discussed today. And thank you so much for listening, everyone.
To all our listener, watchers, and lifelong learners, we hope to see you again with another episode, this insightful conversation. Till then, stay safe and keep exploring.